Have you ever used an AI tool like ChatGPT to help you write an essay or prepare a presentation? Did you ever include AI written text in your final product? If so, did you pretend it was entirely your own work? Did that feel wrong? Or did it feel like a smart, modern way to get things done? Surveys suggest that 52% of UK students have already used AI tools to assist with their academic work. Around 13% admit to using AI text in their final essay or presentation. While many use AI for legitimate support, such as understanding concepts or improving grammar, others use it for cheating. This brings us to the core questions we're going to explore in this lecture. In the age of generative AI, what does academic integrity mean? And who is responsible for upholding it? We'll examine this from multiple angles. The definition and value of academic integrity, how new technology forces us to re-examine our ethical principles, the competing perspectives on AI's role in higher education, and the responsibility of students, educators, institutions, and developers for maintaining standards. This is especially important for postgraduate international students, many of whom are navigating a different academic culture and ethical framework for the first time. So, what is academic integrity? Academic integrity is not just about avoiding plagiarism or cheating. It's a set of values and behaviors that underpin the entire educational and research system. Integrity refers to the core values of honesty, trust, fairness, respect, responsibility, and even courage, which are fundamental to how knowledge is developed, shared, and built upon. In short, therefore, to behave with integrity at university means doing your own thinking and your own writing, giving credit to others where it's due, being transparent. That transparent means open and honest about how you produced your work, and being accountable. That means taking full responsibility if you do something wrong. Integrity also means treating others and your learning environment with fairness and with respect. Before we proceed, let's pause to consider this idea of originality. Have you ever, for example, had an idea only to discover that someone else already said your idea? If two students write the same sentence without copying, is that still plagiarism? What does it really mean to think for yourself, to produce your own work, to have your own ideas and not steal someone else's? Every human who has ever lived, including you and me and Albert Einstein, is made of stardust. Our thoughts are the firing of electrons, recombinations of the same atomic particles forged in distant stars and ancient galaxies. What, if anything, is original? In the 1970s, French philosopher Jacques Derrida questioned the idea that there is any fixed origin for any of our ideas. AI writing is a recombination. Sorry, not AI writing. All writing is a recombination, consciously and unconsciously, of pre-existing ideas. Every sentence, every thought in this sense is a paraphrase. Generative AI, which is trained on everything available online, seems to extend this logic. When AI produces an essay, it's just remixing words and ideas from our cultures in the same way we all do. So yes, on a cosmic level, I suppose, perhaps nothing can be truly original. We're all made of the same matter, recycling ideas shaped by culture, history, and each other. Fundamentally, there can be no such thing as a truly original authorship. But here's the key point. Pure originality may be impossible, but academic integrity is essential. This is because on a practical level, on the ground, in the real world, structure matters, responsibility matters. Imagine your doctor has cheated their way through medical school. The pilot flying your plane earned their license through dishonesty. The economist hired to manage your bank used ChatGPT 4 to write her thesis. Integrity is about more than ownership of words and ideas. Perhaps fundamentally nobody really owns any ideas, but at the level of society, of human interaction, we have to participate ethically in a shared system of knowledge. Rules and guidelines encouraging academic honesty assist our pursuit of this knowledge. Trust underpins everything. Scholars exist in a community. If young people see themselves as isolated individuals thinking, it's fine if I cheat, it doesn't affect anyone else, what happens when everyone starts thinking that way? In practice, if we stopped enforcing academic integrity, if people freely invented data, plagiarized words and ideas, then stealing would be normalized. Universities would lose their legitimacy. The entire infrastructure of education and research would break down. The rules that uphold academic integrity are not just institutional, they are the foundations of any civilization based on knowledge. So now we understand what integrity is and why it matters. Let's turn to the problem. Human progress is the problem. In the 15th century, the printing press challenged the Catholic Church's monopoly on information. In the 19th to the 20th century, electricity changed work, sleep, communication, and urban life. In the 20th century, the internet revolutionized communication. In the 21st century, social media and smartphones have reshaped attention, identity, and social interaction. Technology is a great disruptor. Change is challenging. Change is inevitable. Generative AI models like OpenAI's GPT have thrown higher education into crisis mode. Our existing systems and rules can't keep pace with the technology. Universities face significant challenges, teaching students how to use AI tools ethically. Many students don't cheat because they're bad, they cheat because they're stressed or confused or unsupported. Academic misconduct is often a symptom, not a cause. Students cheat not out of malice, but from a rational response to a grade-driven system, according to Utkarsh. So how does Gen AI challenge academic integrity? Well, AI tools like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, Claude can now generate coherent essays, reports, and code in seconds. They blur the line, they mix the line between assistance, helping, and authorship. What does this mean exactly? Well, in most UK universities, submitting AI-generated texts without acknowledgement, without referencing of some kind, is considered cheating. The student is not the author of the AI text. Then who is the author? Large language models, LLMs like ChatGPT, generate text by predicting word sequences based on patterns learned during training. Each response is generated probabilistically. The text does not match any single source exactly. And because there is no creative intent in the machine, there's no singular unifying intelligence behind the source, which wrote the source text. The AI is a generator of the work. The AI is not the author. At least, though, if we can't attribute scholarship, if the student isn't the author, the AI isn't the author, and we have no author, the very least the student can do is to cite, to reference the AI tool as the source they used for their knowledge, for their ideas, for their words in their reference list or their AI log. But there are still some grey areas. For example, if a student heavily edits, adapts, or curates, changes the AI output, they may reclaim authorship through what we call transformative input. They might say, well, yeah, it was AI originally, but I've changed it so much, now it's mine. But how can their teacher know exactly, even if a student logs their AI use very carefully? There's no reliable way for a teacher to verify, to check how much of the work was truly the student's. Students can easily claim, and students often do claim, I only used it for grammar. It just helped me brainstorm some ideas. I rewrote most of it myself. Honest, I did. But unless the writing process is captured and monitored and broken into stages and checked very carefully at each stage, there's no way to distinguish genuine student work from copying, tweaking, that means making little changes, and submitting, handing in. There's no way to separate this from, to distinguish, is this the student's work or the AI work? And this creates what we call a credibility gap, where honest students may appear indistinguishable from dishonest students. The teacher doesn't know who's honest and who's dishonest. So dishonest students might game the system. Should assessments therefore be redesigned to account for the changes in technology? Well, this is already happening, as you may have experienced for yourself. These issues are at the heart of the ethical and the practical dilemmas facing universities today. A second major issue with AI and integrity is the lack of reliability of your AI tool. And this is something that, in my experience, students often overlook. At the time of speaking, even the most advanced large language models like OpenAI GPT 4.0 and 4.5 have serious weaknesses affecting their accuracy and reasoning and their reliability. Large language models cannot access subscription-based academic databases, for example, like Oxford University Press. This means that the evidence that they use when they give you their response is often not from key scholarship. Much of the data is from crowdsourced websites like Wikipedia, not peer-reviewed academic journals. So there's a quality question there. Large language models still generate false information. For example, fabricated references. They invent references, as you've probably seen for yourself already. They create incorrect citations. They make up case studies. Your AI tool cannot know what it doesn't know. When was the last time your ChatGPT said to you, I don't know? So there's a lot of false reasoning. Large language models simulate reasoning. The responses can seem like strong argumentation or logic, but your AI tool has no idea about causality or logic. It's a series of random number patterns, a probability machine that works on statistical patterns and not logic. Your AI tool doesn't know anything. It doesn't understand anything. It doesn't evaluate anything. And the specific context of your question, it has no idea about the world and context. It simply produces the most likely combination of text based on data from the internet. While it's a helpful tool for scholars, it can save some time. It's no substitute for scholarship. And putting wider issues like dependency and cognitive decline aside, let's focus on universities and integrity. Universities are in a bit of a panic about all this, and they've drawn a line between what they see as AI support and AI misconduct. Misconduct means misbehavior, doing bad things, cheating, for example. This means that students can use the AI to help them with some tasks, but there are limits. One challenge for students and educators is that the boundaries of these limits are moving, they're shifting. Different departments within the same universities might have different rules, different ideas. And they might change during the course of an academic year. So it's confusing for students and teachers alike. According to the Russell Group 2023 guidance and policies at universities like Durham and York and Cambridge, the context and the transparency of AI use are key. So what do those words mean? Context means how and why the student uses the AI. Was it just for checking grammar, or did it generate whole paragraphs? The purpose matters. Transparency means being honest and open about how you use your AI. It means you must clearly say what tools you use and how. Rules and guidelines are often revised and updated. Acceptable use might include using your Gen AI tool for grammar and spell checking, for paraphrasing or clarifying confusing concepts or confusing passages in a text, for brainstorming or generating structure ideas, creating summaries to support reading comprehension, coding support for debugging assistance. But there are often unacceptable uses, include submitting AI-generated text or code as your own work, using AI to complete your assignments, relying on AI to formulate arguments or analysis, failing to check the accuracy of AI outputs, using AI to improve the tone or the fluency of your writing. Make sure you find out the policies which apply to you. As we've seen, there are two dominant perspectives, therefore, on Gen AI in higher education. There's the threat perspective, which sees AI as an undermining academic integrity, a danger. It encourages shortcuts, weakening the validity of assessments and introducing unreliability more than ever before. And there's also the support perspective, which views Gen AI as a valuable educational tool, an extension of existing tools that we already have. And if it's used transparently and ethically, it can support inclusion and understanding and learning. While some advocate for strict regulations or bans, others warn that such approaches ignore the widespread use of Gen AI in wider society, and it risks just making students and teachers confused or fostering mistrust between students and teachers. The real challenge, they argue, lies in navigating this contested space, this kind of confused arena. We have to try and balance innovation with responsibility, and we have to integrate AI into our learning without compromising our integrity. So what do students want? A 2023 survey of over 1,000 college students by study.com. It's a commercial education platform. It's not an academic source, but it's a large sample size, and therefore it's worth looking at. This research found 72% of the students they spoke to believed AI tools should be banned from their college network. 72% of students. And in contrast, only 34% of their teachers, educators, favoured banning these tools. This apparent contradiction seems to reflect a broader societal unease, anxiety about the potential harms of these addictive technologies. For example, Derek Thompson of The Atlantic, which is a US current affairs magazine, describes social media as attention alcohol, an intoxicating tool that people struggle to moderate on their own. Relatedly, a 2023 study of over 1,200 young participants aged 16 to 21, conducted by the British Standards Institution, found that over 40% would prefer a world without the internet. Take the internet away, they said, these young people. A significant number. The message seems to be, if the bottle of whiskey is nearby, we can't control our drinking. Please take it away from us. Students seem to be pleading with their universities for structure and for clear rules, but aren't students themselves responsible? Most authors seem to accept that maintaining integrity is a collective task. Yes, students are responsible for understanding their department's rules, for what constitutes fair use of AI, for referencing appropriately and ensuring their work reflects their own learning. Educators, though, must design assessments that emphasize process, originality, and critical engagement. Universities bear responsibility as well. They should be crafting clear and consistent policies, rules, and providing AI literacy, AI training for their staff and students. Employers are responsible, and professional bodies must evaluate real competencies, real skills when they're interviewing their candidates, not just take their qualifications at face value. AI developers and platform designers should build systems that encourage transparency, so it makes it difficult to cheat using these tools, such as watermarking or metadata tracking. AI is not the enemy. Used wisely, it can enhance our learning, creativity, and inclusion, but it does not replace thinking. It does not absolve the scholar, that's you and me, of responsibility. Academic integrity is non-negotiable. It's a guiding principle through the profound disruptions caused by new technologies. It's what gives your degree value and your scholarship credibility and meaning. Universities are adapting, definitions and rules are evolving. Even ethics may shift and adapt over time. But the values at the heart of academic life remain constant: honesty, trust, fairness, respect, and responsibility. The challenge for students, the challenge for you, is to navigate this changing landscape with integrity.